Yeah, hello everyone. Good morning and welcome to this webinar. As you know, this is a webinar on cloud computing. Okay, so we'll try to understand what is cloud computing today and what is the need of cloud computing, why this is in so much demand. So we'll just try to address some basic questions here. Okay. Coming to me, I'm Shakeel here. I'll be taking you through this webinar and I have, 13 plus years of experience on different platforms. So let me introduce myself in more details here. I've started my career on Windows Server administration, then into like network administration, okay, then virtualization, as well as Linux administration. So these are the different platforms where I have hands-on experience. I have knowledge, actually, not working experience, but I have knowledge on security also, that is firewalls and all those things. Okay, so that is me. To go with cloud computing, you should have some basic knowledge of servers and networks and virtualization. Okay, so don't worry if someone is here without any knowledge of virtualization or servers and networks and all those things. I'll take you through all the basics, whatever is needed for us to understand and learn cloud computing. Okay, but if you know Windows Server administration, and if you know the Linux Server administration, the complete administration, that is an added advantage. It is not mandatory for you to know everything, but if you have the basic knowledge, that is well and good for you to understand the cloud computing concepts. Okay, fine. Now, before we learn cloud computing, or before we try to understand what is cloud computing, we need to go to the basic concept of computer networks. Cloud computing is part of computer network. Actually, cloud computing is not a new thing that is came from somewhere. Cloud computing is actually talking about your computer networks. So for how long we are using computer networks, friends? We are using computer networks for many years, many decades actually, right? The age of internet is around 35, 36 years. So for last 35, 36 years, the internet is there. What is internet? Internet is a public computer network. Internet is public network. But there is something called intranet. Intranet means your private network. Private network means your company's network. So before internet came, the companies were already using intranet. The companies were already connecting devices with each other within their company, within their local area network, or within that setup. So whether it is internet or whether it is intranet, we are using these computer networks for many decades now. Okay, so cloud computing is something related to your internet networks or intranet networks. So to understand cloud computing in a better way, let us go and let us see some basics of computer networks. Okay, now before we proceed, there is a chat box here. I'm just sending a message in the chat box. I just say hi here. So if you have any questions, any doubts, okay, or if you want to say something, if you want to ask something, whatever it may be, it's better you use the chat box here and you can send your queries and questions in the chat box. So we'll just try to keep this session more organized by using our chat box as much as possible. Okay, at the end of the session, if you want to speak directly to me, then that is possible. But in the beginning or in the middle of the session, if we go with this chat box, it is good for each and everyone. Okay, so please try to keep chat box as busy as possible with your questions. Let us keep this session more interactive actually. Okay, fine. So like I said, the cloud computing is something that is talking about computer networks. And what are computer networks? Computer network can be internet, that is your public network, that is open for all, or the computer network can be intranet, that is only for your company. So let us see a small computer network that is your intranet, that is there for your company or within your company. Okay, fine. So this is the computer network that we have within the company. Go to any XYZ company anywhere. Maybe you're somewhere in Hyderabad or Chennai or Delhi, or maybe someone is in Dubai, or maybe someone is working somewhere in Australia. Wherever you go, a company's computer network will look like this. There are certain devices we will see in each and every computer network. Like here you can see There is a switch here. There is a router here. There is a firewall here. And we can see there are many computers, desktops or laptops, whatever. And one of the device we can see here is a server. So these are the very common devices that we see in each and every computer network. Maybe the size of the computer network can be like, 300 devices, or maybe it can be 30 devices, or it can be even 10,000 devices. So the number of devices can be more and less, but the devices that we use in a computer network will be same in each and every network, in each and every company, wherever you go, whichever country you go. Okay. Now, every device has a specific work. When you go with this firewall is a device that will protect your network from hackers. This is a device that will protect your network from hackers. So it is one of the main device again. When you go with this router is a device that will, make communication between your office and the branch office, or router is a device that will make communication between your local area network and the internet. So that is a router. You can say this switch here. Switch is a device that will connect all the end devices with each other. So see, firewall is there for a special purpose. Router is there for a special purpose. Switch is there for a special purpose. Every device has its own purpose. Okay. Now, coming to computers and laptops, we know this very well, what we can do on computers and laptops. Whatever you do in your personal life, whatever you do, your personal work, majority of work we will do same in our company. Someone is working as an accountant, so accounts applications will be there. Someone is working as a, programmer, so programming applications will be there. So computers are same everywhere. So these are very common devices. Now, out of all these devices, the most important device that we have in a computer network is server. Actually, whole computer network is built around server. Got it? Server is the most important device we have in computer network. So what is this server? To understand cloud computing very well, we need to understand what exactly is this server. We keep on hearing every time, like, there is a server which is down, or there is a server which is very fast. Okay, there is a problem in this server and all those things. The general meaning of server is serving. What is the meaning of serving? Serving means, like, for example, if you go to any restaurant, you order something. Like, for example, if you order a burger there, what waiter will do? Waiter will serve burger to you. If you order some biryani, waiter will serve the biryani to you. So server means it is serving something. Whatever you are asking, server will provide that particular information to you. Okay, that is a server. Okay, now let us see more about server. Like I said, if you know this server very well, it will be easy for you to understand the concept of cloud computing. Done? Okay, so let me open one more paintbrush here. So what is a server here? There is a very simple definition I have written here, friends. So server is a computer, in bracket I have written hardware or software that provides services to users or clients over a network. The network can be public and private. Okay, there are many terminologies I am using here. So very soon we will see all the terminologies, like who is a user, okay, what is the hardware, what is the operating system, what is a public network, what is a private network. All these things we will see in details. But as of now, let us see generally. What is a server? It says it is a computer. So when I say computer, your laptop is a computer, your desktop machine is a computer, and your server is something like your desktop only. What we have in desktop? We have some hardware and we have some operating system, right? So what hardware we have in our desktop? There is a motherboard, there is a processor, there is some storage, there is some memory, there is some NIC card, there is a power supply. These are the very common components we see in any desktop. Is it possible to use a desktop machine without using a hard disk? Or is it possible to use a desktop machine without using a CPU? CPU can be, i3 or i5 or i7, whatever. But CPU will be there for sure. Hard disk can be like, 500 GB or 1 TB, but hard disk will be there. So these are the very common components we have in a computer or a laptop, or desktop or a laptop. Now, in server also, the components will be same. There is a motherboard, there is a processor, there is a RAM, there is a hard disk, okay, there is some power supply, and there is a NIC card. So we have similar components in server. But the major difference between a server hardware and the desktop hardware is the capacity and the speed. What I mean when I say capacity, what exactly I mean? Let me just elaborate a bit more. Okay, if I go with a desktop, how much hard disk we use normally in a desktop? 500 GB, 1 TB, or 2 TB, isn't it? These are the very common storage capacities we have in a desktop machine, or maybe in a laptop, whatever. 500 GB, 1 TB, or 2 TB. Okay, fine. If you go with RAM, how much GB RAM we use normally? Okay, let's go with like 8 GB. Nowadays, 8 GB is minimum that we have to take, or we can go with 16 GB, or we can go with 24 GB, 32 GB, even 64 GB is possible. So that much GB RAM we have to take. And processors, that is CPU. Which processors we have? We have, i3, i5, i7, now as well as i9. So these are some of the processors we have in our desktop or laptop. So anyhow, take any desktop machine or take any laptop. These are the major components we need to take. Okay, maybe someone is using 1 TB, like I have 1 TB hard disk, I have 16 GB RAM, and I have i5 processor in my machine. So my machine is sufficient to run most of the applications. My machine is considered as a very good machine. 1 TB hard disk, 16 GB RAM, and i5 processor is considered an excellent configuration. But say this is not excellent in every scenario. Maybe, for example, I am a multimedia person. If a multimedia person is there, maybe he will go with 2 TB hard disk, 32 GB RAM. At least he will go with i7 processor. That is for multimedia person. Suppose there is an accounts person. For accounts person, 500 GB hard disk is more than enough. 8 GB RAM is more than enough. i3 processor is more than enough. So like this, we can take configuration of a particular machine. Okay, but this is the maximum we can get in a desktop machine. Now let us come to server, my friend. Like I said, your server is similar to your desktop machine. At least components are same, but the capacity and the speed will be different. So coming to server hard disk, in a server, we can connect 10 TB hard disk or 100 TB hard disk or 1000 TB hard disk. I'm saying 1000 TB. I'm not saying 1000 GB here. So in a server, hundreds and thousands of TB of hard disk can be connected. Coming to RAM, we can have like 32 GB RAM, 64 GB RAM, or we can have like thousands of GB of RAM. Coming to CPU, how many CPUs will be there in a machine? Okay, let me just take you to the motherboard. This is actually your computer motherboard and a server motherboard. The left side on your screen is a desktop motherboard and the right side of your screen is a server motherboard. See here carefully. How many processors you can see here? There is only one CPU socket here, right? It can be i3, i5, i7, whatever, but it is only one. But coming to server, 1, 2, 3, 4. So there are slots for 4 CPUs. Remember, I told you the speed will be different. So 4 CPUs means just imagine the speed of your server. That will be too fast. Okay. Now coming to RAM slots. There is 1 RAM slot here. There is 2 RAM slot. Again, okay, we have like totally 4 RAM slots on this motherboard. But coming to server, there are totally 8 here. 8, 8, 16, 24, 32. There are totally 32 RAM slot. I'm not saying 32 GB here, friends. I'm saying 32 slots. Suppose in each slot, you can connect 16 GB RAM. Now 16 multiplied by 32. Whatever number comes, that much GB RAM we can connect here. So this is the difference between a computer and a server. Got it? This is the difference between a computer and a server physically, hardware-wise. But again, components are same. The only difference here is the components will be extra in our server. Okay, so let us go back to the basic definition of server. And the basic definition of server. So what it says, It is a computer hardware and a software. So we know what is a hardware now. It is similar to our desktop, so that is clear. Now, what about operating system? In your computer, that is a desktop or a laptop, which operating system you are using? As of now, I'm using Windows 10. Maybe you're using Windows 8 or Windows 10, or the latest one is Windows 11, right? Any one of this operating system you're using in your desktop machine or a laptop machine. Can we use a computer without operating system? The simple answer is no. We know this very well. A machine will not work until and unless the operating system is working in it. Okay. Now, in this same way, server is also a machine where there should be one operating system. But you know, there is a separate operating system designed for server, and that operating system is called server operating system. Got it? So let me just go with the OS now. See, again, friends, the chat box is always open. Whenever you have any doubts, any questions, whatever you want to say, please use the chat box and you can, interact with the session. Done? Okay, so desktop machine, which OS we use? Windows 8, Windows 10, or Windows 11. Whatever was there before Windows 8, that is Windows 7, Windows XP, all these are outdated, right? So these are the three operating systems we have. Now, coming to server, my friend, coming to server machine, we have majorly two server operating systems. One is called Windows Server OS. Like as of now, 2022 is the latest OS. 2019 is there. Okay, 2016 is there. 2012, and there are some more before 2012. And the other operating system that we use in servers is, I can say, like Unix or Linux. What is Unix? What is Linux? What is the difference? We will see all these things in details in coming classes. But as of now, Unix or Linux. For some of the most famous flavors are Red Hat. I hope you know this. Ubuntu, again very famous. CentOS, that is a copy of Red Hat actually. Kali, that is designed specially for hacking purpose or will be used by hackers. And anything else, Amazon Linux, so like etc. There are many more, right? 90 to 95% cases all over the globe. I repeat, 90 to 95% cases all over the globe on a server machine, it will be either Windows Server operating system. It can be 12, 19, 16, anything. It can be Windows Server OS or it can be Linux OS. Again, in Linux, it can be Red Hat, Ubuntu, Kali, or whatever. 90 to 95% cases. So it's a huge number, right? 90 to 95%. Remaining can be like Mac OS or HP OS, like IBM OS. There are some more versions available. There are some more operating systems available. But 90 to 95% cases over the internet, or 90 to 95% cases within a company, it will be Windows or Linux. Okay, if you know Windows administration or Linux administration, there is added advantage for you. If not, no need to worry. I'll cover all the basics that are needed for us. Okay, fine. So this is your server hardware. And this is your server operating system. I hope things are looking clear for you now. Like I said, to understand cloud computing, we should know this concept of server very well. Forget about routers and firewalls and all these things. We will see all these devices in coming classes in more details, because we need to know what is a firewall. We need to know what is a router, because there are certain concepts related to routers and firewalls in cloud computing. So we will see all these things. But today in this webinar, we'll just try to concentrate more on server. Now, let us see this. This is very interesting now. See here, friends. This is server hardware. We have seen this now. CPU, RAM, hard disk, NIC, all those things. This is server operating system. It can be Windows or Linux. Clear? Now, why we are taking a server machine and why we are taking a server operating system? What is the need of taking a server machine and a server operating system? The answer here is we are taking server machine and server operating system to run these applications. To run applications or to run some services. This is the whole reason. This is the main reason for using a server machine and a server operating system. Now, what is the application now? Application means a web server can be application. Server is actually application. When you access your email like Gmail or Yahoo Mail, that means you are connected to some application. When you're transferring some money, you are connected to some banking application. When you're ordering some food using Zomato or Swiggy, you are connected to some application. Literally, whenever you connect to internet, you are connected to some application. The application can be like gaming application, or it can be a banking application, or it can be a social media application, or whatever. You are simply connected to application. I have given some examples there. Zomato or Swiggy, you are booking your cab there by using Ola or Uber. So these are running on, these applications are running actually. So where these applications are running? These applications are running on server operating system. Please be clear here. These applications are running on server operating system, and this server operating system is running on server hardware. This is the whole story. So whenever you connect to any application, whenever you connect to any website over the internet, you are connected to that application or a service. But where it is running? It is running on a server operating system. It can be Windows or Linux, and it is running on a server hardware. Right now we are connected to Zoom meeting, right? So we are connected to Zoom application. You can just imagine how many more people are connected to Zoom application as of now all over the globe. Every connection has a different ID, so it will not like, interchange or interconnect with each other. It's a different, meeting, but many more people are using the Zoom. So that means all people are connected to Zoom application, which is running on a server operating system and which is running on a server hardware. This is the concept that you need to understand first. Okay, so I'll just take a break for 30 seconds. Just try to understand this scenario very well. Applications are running all over. Applications are running over the internet. Applications are running within the company. Whichever website you connect, whatever you do, whatever you access, there are applications. There are different types of applications. Like I told you, mailing applications, file applications, database applications, banking applications, game applications, whatever you do over the internet, you are connected to application. So it is running on server OS and it is running on server hardware. These are the three layers. Clear? Okay, let me just clear all the drawings here now. So why we are learning or why we are discussing this? Because cloud computing, like I said, is related majorly with servers. Now, why we are discussing this here is when a company starts a business, they need to bring servers and they need to run their applications on servers. First of all, they need to bring server hardware. Okay, let me just take you through some server hardware. The laptops, the manufacturing companies that manufacture laptops, HP is there, IBM is there, Dell is there, Toshiba, Lenovo, Acer. These are like major companies that manufacture your laptops and desktop machines, right? These are the same company that manufactures your servers. So if I say IBM server, now you can see clearly it is showing many servers. There are different types of servers. There is something called rack server. There are different servers available. We'll see this in more details. But let me just take you through one of the server here. Okay, I'll go with this server. Now, can you see this server? It is simply looking like your desktop machine. But this is not a desktop machine, my friend. This is a server. You can see power on button here. Okay. And then you can see some USB port, VGA card, all these things we can see. So it is similar, or it will look like your desktop machine. The physical size can be a bit bigger, but more or less it will look like your desktop machine. Now what we need to see carefully here is this amount. How much is it? 4,21,000 rupees. That means this server will cost you 4,21,000 rupees. That is the cost of your physical server. Now it depends on the configuration actually. Every server is not 4 lakh rupees. Some servers can be 1,30,000 rupees. Some servers can be even 12 lakh rupees or 15 lakh rupees. It depends on the hardware configuration of your server. So let me just take you through some hardware here. We can see all the hardware configuration here. Can you see a CPU configuration? What it says? 1 CPU configuration or 2 CPU configuration? We can select here. So if you want to go with like 2 CPU, there will be some difference in the pricing now. 1 CPU will be less in price, 2 CPU will be more in price. Now in processor, you have taken 2 processor, but what about speed? Will you go with Intel? Is very famous company, Xeon is a series that is specially designed for servers. So here you can see Intel Design 2.1 gigahertz or Intel Xeon 3.2 gigahertz or 3 gigahertz. So like this, you can select your processor here. So according to your processor, again, the pricing will go up and down. So what I'm trying to show you here is server is a hardware machine that will cost you many times more than your desktop machine. Because remember what we said initially, server is a machine that has more hardware capabilities, and server hardware capabilities are much more faster than a desktop machine. So obviously we have to pay more money. Got it? We have to pay more money. Okay, friends. So now let us do some calculation here. This calculation is very much needed again. Suppose imagine in your company you need totally 100 servers. By the way, 100 server is not a big company or not even a small company. Also, it's like a around medium level company. There can be 30 servers in a company. There can be 300 servers, or there can be some 1,000 servers in a company. It depends on the size of the company. Okay, but I'm taking a basic example here. I'm taking example with 100 servers. So for this 100 servers, on each server, how much money we need to spend here? 100 servers multiplied by, let us say, $5,000. $5,000 means around 4 lakh Indian rupees, right? So how much it will be? 5,000 multiplied by 100. So that is some money, right? That is $500,000. 5 lakh dollars. I'm calculating in dollars here, not rupees. One server cost would be $4,000, $5,000, $6,000. So on average, I have taken like $5,000. Okay. So total cost on servers a company have to spend is $500,000. That is $5 lakh. Let us see how much it will be in Indian currency. Multiply by 75 rupees. So it will be around 4 crore Indian rupees. Now that is some money, right? A company have to spend around or approximately 4 crore Indian rupees on servers to start their business. Just to start the business, they have to spend that much money. Okay, there is a question here. The question is, does Amazon data centers have these types of servers? Okay, within like 15-20 minutes, Mahendra, I'll take you to the Amazon data centers. I'm on that way only. So please wait for another 5 to 10 minutes maximum. Then let us see the Amazon data centers, how much they have. Okay. Okay, fine. So I hope you understood how much money a company is spending on servers now. Got it? Now, one more thing. Not only servers, we need server operating system. Now, server operating system, are they free? If you say like, okay, Linux is free, then you're not 100% correct there. Just remember one thing, my friend. No software is free. Software is a business, right? They are developing new softwares. Why they are developing new software? So that they can sell the software in market. So that they can gain some, profits and all those things. So nothing is free over the internet, or nothing is free in software size. Okay, there will be certain softwares which are free for some time, maybe for like 1 day, or not 1 day anyway, but maybe like 90 days or up to like 6 months, it can be free. But after 90 days or after 6 months, again we have to pay money. So nothing is free. Server operating system is a huge OS. Okay, it is designed for like many purpose. So it's not like your Windows 10. Server OS has many configurations available. Server OS has many options available. So obviously server OS is not free. We have to pay a lot of money. So just imagine company spending $100,000, $1 lakh on server operating system. Windows, Linux, or whatever we are using, we are spending that much money. We have to take the license here, right? So my calculation here is a company has already spent. This is a very rough calculation, friends. So please don't take this calculation for every company. Okay, so this is one of the company where a company has spent $6 lakh only on server machines and server operating systems. So what they do, they will bring server machines like this, 100 server machines. Then they have to install the server operating system, and then they need to run their application. So the business has started now. Great. They need to run their applications. Now, besides server, server is one of the machine. Server is not the only machine. Remember that server is one of the machine. Besides server, the company have to take many switches, routers, and firewalls. So then company have to spend a lot of money on servers, routers, and firewalls and all those things. So making a computer network is not a easy task. Company have to spend a lot of money. I'll just show you a data center here, a very simple data center. Now this is the data center, my friend. Let me just elaborate a bit more here. You know what you see, this particular frame, actually it is called rack. We should not call it as a frame. It is a rack, R-A-C-K, rack. So what is the use of rack? Rack is a place where we can connect our servers, routers, switches, firewalls, and all those things. So see how many servers are connected here. There are many servers connected. There are many switches connected. Totally, how many racks are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are totally 6 racks. And by the way, this is not a big company. Remember, we have taken the example of 100 servers. Even we cannot connect 100 servers here. You know how many servers are there totally? Let's say like 20 servers are connected here. So 20 multiplied by 5 will be how much? 100, right? So 100 servers can be connected in these 5 racks. But what about your routers, switches, firewalls? There can be like, 300 switches in a company. So just imagine the size of your data center. This is your company's data center. This is the place where all the devices are connected with each other. This is the place from where the network is managed. This is a place where the users are connected to the server. This is a place where we are providing security for the users' data. This is a place from where, as the administrator, we will control our whole setup. So this is a very, very main part. Like, we have the backbone in our body. A company's data center is a backbone for a company. We need to maintain the electricity. We need to maintain the cooling system. We need to maintain the devices. We need to make connections. We need to install operating system. This is a huge work. And these are the ways in which a data center is managed and maintained by companies for many decades now. This is not today, actually. This is the setup which we have from many decades, from 1970s, 80s, 90s, up to like 2022. This was the thing I need to share with you first. Got it? A data center contains many devices like routers, switches. There is one more device actually called storage that we will see in more details again. So routers, switches, storage, firewalls, but the most important device is server. So server, a company have to spend that much money. If they want to take 100 servers, then they can run the applications. After running the applications, the business is started. The business has started. They are like, getting profits, or maybe they are in loss, whatever. Got it? But how much money they have to spend? They have to spend crores and crores of rupees, or lakhs of dollars. And that is a huge money. So is there any solution for this? That is a $1 billion question. Is there any solution like without spending this much money, we can start our business? I'll take a very basic example first. Most of us are Indians here, or from wherever you're joining, there is something called marriage function halls, whatever name you call it. Normally in India, we call it as marriage function halls, right? What we do here, friends, see, this is looking very good. It's a big place and, people will go there and get married and all those things. Have you ever seen a person who will build a function hall for himself or herself just to get married? No, they need a function hall only for one day, right? So what they do, they just go to any nearby function hall. They talk to them and they say like, okay, there is a party of 100,000 people or 1,500 people or 2,000 people, whatever. So we need to use your function hall for like 12 hours or 24 hours or 36 hours, whatever. So according to their number of people, according to the usage, what the owner of this function hall will do, he will say, okay, we can provide you all these facilities and we will take this much money from you. So whatever money they are charging, that is like more than easy for us to pay, because we are not owning the function hall. We are not owning all the things that are there in the function hall. We are simply using it for like 1 day or 2 days. Then whatever money we can pay, we will pay and we'll just go home. Our marriage is done, we will go home. Now next day, some other person is getting married. So he will come to the same function hall. He can use all the resources there. Now just remember this example so that you can understand the concept of cloud computing very well. Okay, now coming back to the technical things. Let us go back from this marriage function halls and all those things. coming back to the technical thing. So this is the data center, right? So this is the data center we have within our company. I repeat, friends, this is not the biggest data center. This is one of the data center in a normal or medium level company. Biggest data center will have like many more racks. So let me just write things in more detail here. What we need to do as a administrator here, bring devices. Okay, let me just. One thing is bring devices. Okay, then connection. Okay, installation of OS, troubleshooting, maintain power supply, maintain AC and all those things. Okay, and upgrade of hardware as well as upgrade of software. All these things will be taken care by the team which is there in that company, the administrator team. Got it? Now let us come to the main points. You know, there are many companies like Amazon, Microsoft, Google, IBM, HP, Citrix, Cisco, Apple. You know, whatever companies I am naming here, these are some of the biggest companies, right? Each and every company name you have heard before, right? Microsoft is a very common company. Amazon, Google, these are like the companies which we use regularly in our life. Whenever we go with a computer, whenever we use a computer, or whenever we connect to internet, can we connect to internet without using a Microsoft product or a Google product or a Linux product or Amazon product? It's very difficult to imagine, right? So these are the companies. You know what these companies are saying? These companies are saying, listen, why you're taking this much hardware? No need to take this much hardware in your company. Why you're taking so many servers? Why you're taking that many operating systems? Why there is a need for you to take such a big data center? No need to take your hardware. No need to take the server operating system. Amazon, Microsoft, Google, these are cloud providers, and they are saying, instead of taking huge hardware, instead of taking many server operating systems, you can simply run your applications without taking a hardware and without taking the operating system. That sounds very good, right? I repeat again. The cloud computing providers, or the cloud providers like Amazon, Google, Microsoft, all these companies will say, no need to take hardware in your company, that is a server hardware, and no need to take server operating system in your company. Without taking this, also you can run your applications. But how and where? So these companies have data centers. There was a question here just now, like, 5 minutes before, like, Amazon have the data center. Let me just show you the Amazon data center. We will go through these data centers in more details. It will take at least one class actually for me to go through these data centers. But as of now, a very, very basic introduction about these data centers. Can you see here, friends? What you see on your screen is indeed a data center. What you see here are the racks, and what you see inside racks are the servers. So where are the racks available? Are they available in our company? Of course, no. They are available at Amazon data center. So this is one rack here. This is another rack. See how many servers are connected. And just see here how many racks are there. This is only one lane. You can see maybe like, 50, 70, 100 racks here. So like this, there will be many more lanes within the data center. You know what I'm trying to say here? This is a lane. This is a data center. And in the data center, this is only one row. There are many more rows available in this data center. There can be 300 more rows available. So what will be there in each and every row? In each and every row, racks will be there. And in that racks, servers will be there. Servers will be connected with the networking devices. Cabling will be done. Okay, they will maintain all the hardware, and they will select, we will maintain the hardware, the power supply, the backup supply. We will maintain the cooling system, everything. So Amazon company is saying, we will maintain all data center. We will maintain each and everything. What you do, you just use our data center, you run your applications and pay for your usage. It's an excellent idea. I repeat again, Amazon, Microsoft, these are like, huge companies, right? The biggest companies on earth. So they are saying, instead of you maintaining the data centers within your company, instead of spending huge money on day one, no need to spend anything. We already have the data centers. You come to us, use our data centers, create a server in our data center, okay, and run a application in our data center. And how much you use, that much you can pay. You can pay after like 3 days, you can pay after like 1 month, you can pay after like 6 months. It depends on your package. So use the application, run the application on our data centers. So the hardware, the operating system, it will be managed by the cloud provider itself. So this is actually your cloud computing. What is cloud computing, friends? Cloud computing is, let me just take you to some definitions here. Don't worry about the remaining slides. We will see the remaining slides from Monday. So let us see what is cloud computing now. Hopefully things will be more easier for you to understand. This is the definition from Amazon. This is cloud computing is the on-demand delivery of IT resources. I repeat, cloud computing is the on-demand delivery of IT resources. IT resources means servers, routers, firewalls, operating system. That is your IT resources. On-demand means you need 100 servers. Within next 2 minutes, you can take 100 servers. You need 10,000 servers. Within like next 1 hour, you can take 10,000 servers. That is called on demand. How much you need, we are providing that much. So cloud computing is an on-demand delivery of IT resources over the internet. Internet connection is mandatory here. Over the internet with pay-as-you-go pricing. Pay-as-you-go pricing means how much you use, that much you are paying. Like, you know, the easy example is electricity. We are getting electricity in our home. This month, maybe you are getting 700 rupees as your bill. Next month, it can be like, you know, 3,000 rupees. Why there is so much difference here, 700 and 3,000? Maybe next month you are consuming more power. You are consuming more electricity. So the billing will be high. Same logic here. When we run our applications on some other data center, how much we are running, that much we are paying. Again, this is a very excellent concept. Okay. So IT resources over the internet with pay-as-you-go pricing, instead of buying, owning, and maintaining physical data centers and servers. Remember, buying, how much money we need to pay. Owning means we need to bring and we need to make connections. Maintaining means again connecting all the devices. It's a huge task. So it says instead of buying, owning, and maintaining physical data centers and servers, you can access technology services such as computing power, that is server, storage, that is again the data center, the hard disk, and all those things on an as needed basis from a cloud provider like Amazon Web Service. So cloud computing is a technology that is provided by many companies. Amazon is one of the companies that provides you cloud computing. Microsoft is another company that provides you cloud computing. IBM is another company that provides you cloud computing. Citrix is another company. Salesforce, Google, whatever companies you know, whatever major companies you can name, all the major companies are providing cloud computing. So this is the data center of Amazon. Google data center will be something like this. Microsoft data center will be something like this. IBM data center will be something like this. So you can choose any of the data centers. You can choose any of the cloud provider and you can run your applications. But why Amazon is very famous? The simple reason why Amazon is very famous is because, you know, they have many data centers. Okay. They have better data centers. Okay. They have a better team. They have data centers in many locations. They have many services. They have a better service. So many things are better actually in Amazon. So that is the reason Amazon is a market leader. Then it is Microsoft. Then it is Google. First is Amazon. Not, I'm saying today. I'm saying for last 7-8 years, Amazon is a market leader. Then there is a huge gap. Then there is Microsoft. Then there is Google. And then we have like all the other companies like Oracle or Salesforce or IBM or Alibaba is again a very famous company. You might have heard about Alibaba. So that is also a very famous cloud provider. But the most famous is the Amazon. So we can choose any of the data centers, we can choose any of the cloud provider, and we can run our services. That means on day one, we are not spending that much money. You just need to create an account, my friend. Okay, I'll do one more thing for you. I'll just take you through my account. This is my AWS account. I'll take you through this account in coming classes. It will take at least half an hour for me to explain about the account and everything. So, okay, the password here is some password is there. You know what I have done now? I have simply logged into my AWS account. That's it. That means I have connected to one of the data center. Can you see here it is written as Sydney? That means I am connected to Sydney. I can change my location from Sydney to Mumbai. I'm connected to the Mumbai data center. I can change my location from Mumbai to North Virginia. I'm connected to North Virginia now. Now there is something called EC2. I can just select on this EC2. EC2 is the server actually. I can say launch EC2. And you know, within next 3 minutes and within next 30 seconds, actually, I can run my server, whether it is AWS, Ubuntu, Microsoft, Red Hat, SUSE, and there are many more. So within next 30 seconds, I can simply run my server on the Amazon data center. This is what we have to do. So we have to create our account, and in our account, we have to run run our servers, and on top of the servers, we need to run our applications. So whatever we do on our local data center, we do the same thing. But you know, all these things will be taken care by the cloud provider. We are not worried about bringing devices, connections, installation, troubleshooting, power, AC, upgrading. These are not under our control now. These are the things that are under the control of cloud provider. We just use their data center. Instead of maintaining this data center at our location, we just use the data centers that we have in Amazon or Google or Microsoft or whichever company, and we will run our applications. This is what cloud computing is all about. Now, one hour session is not sufficient for me to go through all the details, but you know what I have done? I just try to show you what is cloud computing. I hope you understood what is a cloud computing here, but it will take more time for you to go through all the details of cloud computing. So we are starting this class, we are starting this batch from Monday that is tomorrow actually, 9 p.m. Indian Standard Time. So if someone is joining from some other country, so they need to check the timings. So 9 p.m. is the time, that is tomorrow. We are starting the class. Starting 2 demos will be free. We can still join tomorrow as well as on Tuesday. I'll go through all the details of cloud computing again tomorrow as well as on Tuesday. So after getting all the details, you can decide whether to go with this 9 p.m. class or whether to go with some other timings and whatever. Okay, so just for your information, the classes will start from tomorrow at 9 p.m. Okay, Indian Standard Time, and at least 2 demos you can attend without registering or without paying anything. 2 demos will be like more than enough for you to understand like what we are learning, how we are learning, okay, how much we are learning, okay, what advantages you have in learning the classes online, and what advantages you have in learning the classes in this institute, or what advantages you have in learning the class with me. All these things hopefully you can understand in next 2 classes. Okay, my friends, so this is your cloud computing. So I'm not going through all the details here. I'll take you to each and everything in our next class. Virtualization is something that I need to take you through in details. Okay, and I need to go through all these devices again. So let us see in coming classes what we can do. But as of now, the chat box is again open. If you have any questions, any doubts, any queries regarding today's session, feel free to send your questions. Not only today, the chat box will be open till the last day of our course. Okay, so whenever you have any doubts, you can simply, this is the advantage you have in learning the classes or in learning any course through online with a trainer. Instead of, simply taking some recorded classes, if you attend the live sessions with a trainer, you have the opportunity to clear each and every doubt. Okay, my friend, any other questions, any doubts, anything you want to say, anything you want to ask, I'm more than available for you. And the duration of this course will be like 45 days. Okay, definition of cloud computing is a question here. Definition we have already seen here, right? Definition is this one. There are many definitions I have copied here from different companies, but overall, this is the best definition you can say. Cloud computing is the on-demand delivery of blah, blah, blah. This is the definition of cloud. Okay, there is a question here. Data centers means region in AWS. No, Divya. Data centers means actually availability zones. Again, it will take me at least 40 to 45 minutes, at least 1 hour session for us to go through the regions and availability zones and edge locations and all those things. But as of now, data center is a AZ. AZ is called availability zone. Region is something like a city. Within a region, there can be many data centers. Okay. Now, like I said, the total duration of this course will be 45 days. Now, the big question here is who can learn this course? Any person can learn course. If I say yes, then I'm not incorrect actually. But if I say there are some basics we need to know, then also I'm not incorrect. Okay, so better I'll put in this way. If you have some knowledge of some servers or networks or virtualization, that is an added advantage for you. Maybe someone is here who has already done Linux administration. Maybe someone is here who has already finished the CCNA part. So there is added advantage. So if I say any XYZ person can learn AWS, I am correct, but there is a but here. You should have some basic knowledge of servers and all those things. Remember at the start of the session, I said, I have hands-on experience on Windows Server, network, virtualization in Linux. So all these things we will see, not in depth. See, we are not learning Windows administration or virtualization administration, right? Okay. So these basics we will cover so that we can understand the AWS concepts or the cloud computing concepts in more details. So if someone is a fresher to this field, there is no need to worry. If you have the internet connection and if you know how to use a computer, that is a very funny question, right? How to use a computer? We are in 2022, so everyone knows how to use internet and how to use computer. So there is the only requirement you should have as of now. All the other things I'll take care. No need to worry. Whenever we start a server, I'll go through the basics of server. Whenever we start the networks, I'll go through the basics of networks. Whenever we start this security part in cloud, I'll take you to the basics of security. I have experience on all these things, hands-on experience on this, so no need to worry. Whenever you need the basics of a particular thing, I'll take you to the basics. I'll make sure you understand that particular server administration. Then you can enter into the concept of cloud. You should understand the virtualization concept. Then you can understand many things in cloud. So I'll take care of those things. No need to worry. Yeah, that is what I'm saying, Divya. If you're very new also, then there is no need to worry. The course is designed in such a way. Actually, cloud computing will take around 30 to 32 days. But why there is 45 days I have written here? Because I have to take you through the basics actually. Without learning the basics, it's not possible for you to understand. See, I have just logged in through my account here, right? Okay, in this account, you should know what is this. Okay, I'll take you to one more service here. VPC. Before you learn VPC, VPC is one of the most important part of your AWS. So before you learn VPC, you should know what is a subnet. You should know what is internet gateway. You should know what is the IP address. All these things we will discuss, but it will take around 10 days for us to complete this. But before we start even VPC, before we start what is virtual private cloud, we have to go through the basics of network administration. Before we start the EC2 part, we have to go through the basics of virtualization and server. Before we start the security part means your security groups and all those things. We have to go through the basics of security, that is firewall. Got it? So without any prior knowledge, without any concept, you can still learn this course because we are starting from basic and we are going up to the advanced level. Okay, so the course will be for like 45 days. Every day session will be there for like 60 to 70 minutes. The extra 10 minutes I'm adding because maybe we can say some topics in more details, or maybe there are like more questions on a particular day. So I have just added 10 extra minutes. Each and every class is recorded actually. So every recorded class will be provided to you. Today class is also recorded. Till the end of our course, each and every class is recorded. And this class will be available on YouTube. Starting 3 to 4 classes will be available on YouTube. Where it is available, I'll share the link on Monday. Or just you can go to the DURGASOFT YouTube channel and you can see all the recorded classes there. So starting 3-4 classes will be available on YouTube, but remaining all the classes will be shared with you directly. Once you register yourself, all the classes will be shared with you directly. Now, beside this, I'll share you some interview questions and answers. I'll share you some documents so that you can go through these documents. And I'll share you how to go with this exam. Exam is a very major part actually. We'll see about exam in coming classes, but I'll share all the details about exams and everything. Okay, good question, Sachin. The question is, can you list out the services which we will learn in our AWS? For this, you have to come in the next session, my friend. I've already, wait a second. The syllabus is already ready here, but time is not sufficient for me to take you through this syllabus. So when you come in the next session, hopefully we will see some more basics of cloud. Then I'll take you to the AWS course curriculum. Okay, there is a question here like, will these classes help us to clear AWS certification? Now, I'll just try to put this in a simple way. There are some stages. One is learning. Right now, you're into the learning stage. Okay, after learning, then we have exam. Then we have interview. Then we have job, work or job, whatever you say. These are the 4 stages you have whenever you do any course. Now, can I ask you a very simple question, friends? Out of these 4 stages, can you tell me, according to you, which one is more difficult or which one is difficult? I should not say more. So which one is difficult? Learning, exam, interview, or job? That is your work. What do you think? Which one is difficult? Okay, 1 and 3. I got an answer like 1 and 3. 1 is the exam. You have written many exams in your life, in school, college, and all those things. Remember school exams? There was a question and we need to write the complete answer like an essay. Like suppose if someone is asking you, explain Quit India movement. So we need to write like 3-4 pages about Quit India movement. Isn't it? But in this exam, it is multiple choice. Now, when I say multiple choice, I can see you're feeling much better here, right? Multiple choice questions and answers, or multiple choice questions are much easier for us to answer instead of writing long answers. So exam is not a big deal. Exam is very easy. In coming 2-3 classes, I will share all the details of exam. You will feel like, okay, let us forget about exam. Within 1 day, we can go with the exam. Exam is not a big deal. Now, interview. Normally, people say interview. If I ask you a question like 2 plus 2, how much? Obviously, we'll say 4 here, right? Is it difficult for you to answer this question? No, because you already know 2 plus 2. You already know the addition part. So it is easy for you to answer. So what is interview? Whatever you are learning, you are answering those things in interview. So if you know something, you can answer. If I ask you a question, or if you ask me a question like, what is the capital of India? So I'll say Delhi. I know this. So if I know something, it will be easy for me to answer. So I'm saying interview is not a big deal. Exam is not a big deal. And coming to work, I'm just saying ... here. Once you know something, it is very easy for you to do that. Let us take an example of biryani. Most of us know how to eat biryani, right? But how many of us know how to cook biryani or how to make biryani? Making biryani is easy for people who know how to make it, right? There are many chefs available, like in our family also, people knows how to cook biryani. So it is easier for them to how to cook biryani. But my friend, cooking or learning how to cook biryani is not easy. Remember that. Within one go, we cannot learn how to cook biryani. You can go and watch a YouTube video, how to cook biryani. Can you just cook biryani within like 1 attempt? Literally not possible. I know I'm taking very funny example here, but it's a very, it is an example that is related to us very closely. So after watching a video for like 1 hour, just try to cook biryani. You may cook a new dish actually. Okay, so what I'm trying to say here is learning is a part which is a bit difficult. Whenever you learn something that is a bit difficult. Remember when we started learning how to ride a bicycle, it was not easy. But is it difficult today? No. So learning is the only part which is a bit difficult because you're learning many things for the first time. You're learning about IP addressing, you're learning about servers, you're learning about virtualization, you're learning about cloud computing. You're learning for the first time, so that is a bit difficult. But you'll be learning things with me. If you are coming in this batch, you'll be learning things with me. So I'll make sure your learning process will be easy, your learning process will be more fun, and your learning process will be more interesting. Learning process should not be boring. It should be very, very, very easy. It should be very interesting. So we'll just try to, make scenarios. We'll just try to, conduct classes in such a way that like, okay, you'll wait for the next class. Okay, what will come tomorrow? So that is the atmosphere we'll try to create. Okay, don't worry about exams, don't worry about your interviews, don't worry about your jobs. These are very easy to do. The most are a bit difficult. I'm not saying most difficult, a bit difficult is learning. So hopefully I'll make things easier for you. Not only AWS, my friend, if you're learning anything, like suppose if tomorrow I started learning Python, it will not be easy for me to learn Python, my friend. I know that for sure. But there are many Python programmers, they can, make any program. But remember when they started, at some point, it was not easy for them also. Done? Anything else? Any other questions? Any doubts? I'm done from my side actually for today. I hope I make sure like you understood what is the concept of cloud computing. I'll just revise in a basic way within 30 seconds. Instead of maintaining these data centers on premise within your location, within your company, there are many things we need to do when you make the data center within the company. So what we can do, we can simply go with the other companies' data center like Amazon, Google, whatever you say. We can go with these data centers and we can run our applications there. This is the whole concept of cloud computing. Done. But we will see more details like how we can do, how many services are available, okay, where they are available, how we can create an account, all these things we will see in coming classes. So that's it from me for today, friends, and very good luck for you. Very good luck for your careers and whatever you're selecting. I can say one thing for sure. Cloud computing is the present. Cloud computing is your future. You can see yourself working in cloud computing for next 12, 15, 20 years. You can make your whole career in cloud computing. That much I can say with 100% guarantee. Okay, so make sure you start learning from the very basics up to the advanced level so that you can get more knowledge. Done. So again, very good luck for your careers, friends. So if you have any other thing, I'll be here for at least 2 minutes. So if you have any other questions or doubts, we will see, or else we can stop the session for today. And let us meet on Monday at 9 p.m. Indian Standard Time. 9 p.m. evening. PM is obviously evening, right? Okay, fine. So I guess there are no more questions. So actually, thanks a lot for joining today because Sunday is, of course, for fun day, right? It's a holiday everywhere, but still thanks again for taking some time and coming here for this webinar. And Sundays, there will not be any class actually. Classes will be there only on weekdays or maybe some Saturdays, but at least on 5 days classes will be there. So thanks again for joining and good luck guys. See you later. Bye. Yeah, thank you guys.